If you're lost and you're lonely, don't figure out why. Take a trip to your dark side. Go on and have a good cry. 'Cause we're all lonely, and we're all lonely together. I want to see your sadness. I want to share your sin. I want to bleed your blood.
We'll begin in 1 minute.
I want to be let in. Don't we all just want to be together? Leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? Leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind?
Raya, do you mind turning the house light, dimming them a bit, please? No, I don't know what exactly house light means. I mean those lights shining directly at me. That's what I mean by them. Sorry, Raya. Thank you so much. Okay, let's begin the evening. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. We have counted this year, there's over 340 people from the community coming here with us to celebrate. We're here to celebrate participation. We're here to celebrate extracurricular activities. We're here to celebrate everybody that puts in so much hours after school and after their academic requirements to really showcase their best skills and showcase their abilities off and outside the class. This is very important for us. We as a ACS family or ACS employees, we work really hard to make sure that students are shining outside the classroom too. So thank you for believing in us, and thank you for having 340 people. It's overwhelming. Thank you for coming with us here to celebrate. Just quick stats. We're celebrating the time the students put in. The students put in over 75 hours and 10 weeks of practice time for almost each and every activity we're celebrating today. That means the coaches also do that. We have had at least 200 participants travel in the past few weeks, also in October. We're also celebrating them too. This year, the setup is similar to last year. If you're not familiar with it, I'm gonna explain the setup to you. We have 2 celebrations. Today, 13 groups will come on stage, and the coaches will come up and give their 2-minute speech about wrapping up the season. Coaches can't do 2 minutes, 2-minute speeches, to cover the amount of hours that the people put in, but they're gonna try their best. I'm holding them down to 5 minutes, I hope, with everything for each group. I'll be the one standing here telling them, you gotta hurry up here. Also, I would like to invite Brianna Newell to show you what also has been installed again as a tradition at ACS. This is the Letterman jacket. Thank you, Bree, for doing this. So if you see there's the letter A here, it's got pins. That's a soccer pin, and that's a sports therapy pin. Kids are collecting those pins, and they will, if it's their first time participating in this varsity sport, they will get a pin, and then they can accumulate that. They will be fitting upstairs at the end of this session. They'll be fitting for jackets, and you can order those jackets. And anybody could wear them, not just seniors. These are not seniors' jacket. These are community jackets for people that participated in the events that we've done. So thank you so much So I said we're celebrating 13 things, and you're gonna think about, okay, what else are we gonna celebrate in the next one around? We have, I'm gonna list them right now, so you know if you're part of that, because some students are part of several different programs. If you're part of that, you know that you're gonna get your other celebration. It's gonna be April 29th. It's an iftar in the gym. We hope to celebrate the Jordanian tradition of communal iftar, everybody sitting together and enjoying a meal while we're celebrating sports. So the sports are, and activities are, Saisa girls basketball, Saisa boys soccer, Saisa badminton, Saisa tennis, high school student council, Amman swimming league team, Compassion Summit, the AAC track and field group, World Scholar Games, and the sports therapy program. We will also celebrate Rock of Ages. We've had 2 amazing drama productions. Today we're celebrating Grim Tales. Next time is Rock of Ages and Battle of the Bands. Also, we will give the AAA awards: Male Athlete of the Year, Female Athlete of the Year, Male Arts Student of the Year, Female Arts Student of the Year, and that's about it. So before we move to the celebration, I want to give a few thank yous. I could stand here for over an hour. I promise people this whole thing is going to be an hour and 15 minutes. So I won't be able to thank everybody, but if I want to go through the list, it is a huge list. First, you're only as good as your team is. I believe in that fully. I get a lot of thank yous, and I walk in the hallways, and everybody says, "Oh, great job last weekend. It was such an amazing Saisa. You put together such a great..." It's not me. You're only as good as your team. I want to thank Julie Rihani and Iman Simawi. Julie here. Best assistant AD anybody can have. Julie has made sure that, with Iman, they both made sure that everybody has had their appropriate PIN. And if they have not received a letter last year, they're receiving a letter. And that's a huge database to go through. And it's a huge database to actually look into who's participating in what. First, let's figure this out, because a lot of people overlap, which is amazing. But for us to figure this out, Julie does it. For me, it all looks like math, which I'm not very good at. Host families. Looking around here, there are a lot of familiar faces of people we called, Iman called, and they opened up their homes for visiting Saisa students, especially in the 2 weeks ago. We can't do Saisa without you. The ethos of Saisa is about this collaborative effort of when we get hosted at somebody else's school, we're hosting as well. So thank you for your generosity in opening up your homes. If you're part of the Student Booster Club, please stand up. Some of them are here. Participation was optional because these guys do a lot. Stand up if you're, come on, get up. This is the heart of the activities department. They do a lot of work in the background. I can't thank them enough, and I really, really enjoy working with them. They're awesome to work with. I want to thank the Parent Booster Club for providing all the gifts today for the raffle prizes and their ongoing support. I also want to thank the ACS administration for their tremendous support for us. It is amazing working with you, too. Now, I want to thank the families. We know that I've given a random stat of 75 hours for the kids that put in on the court. The families have to do that, the driving to the courts, driving to the stage, and they have to do the drop-off and then the pickup and so on. So that's a lot of work. And then they have to make sure that the kids are fed well. They have to make sure that they're on top of academics. Thank you so much for believing in after-school activities and the importance of them. Round of applause, thank you. Another huge thing that that makes us work really hard in the background. You see how many people collectively are putting effort into this, are the students. So look around you. Big round of applause for you. You guys really, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to do this. And if you're a senior here, please stand up. Seniors, for most of you, it's been a tremendous journey. We want to celebrate, especially the people who have put in more than 1 or 2 or 3 years in the program, and have worked with a group of people to bring whatever program it is forward. You guys are role models for everybody. Thank you for doing that, and best of luck as you move on next year. Before I move on to the awards, I want to thank Alina's restaurant for providing the delicious food upstairs. And then also I want to thank Tamam Chicken for providing 500 JDs as a contribution. We wanted to work with them because they're, remind me what the term is, humane. They're certified humane company, so thank you for the contribution. Okay. Okay, so you'll hear, okay, this is the AAC group. You'll hear this is the varsity group. You'll hear this is the SISA group. I'm just gonna briefly explain what each is. Our schedule is mad. Okay, you have things overlapping with things, and it's really hard to look at the schedule and say when does what start and what program is which, and when does soccer end, and when does basketball start, and when does this activity. So we are bound by that schedule. We have our local competition league called the AAC, Amman Athletic League, and they have their own seasons that do not overlap sometimes with the SISA season. If they don't overlap, for example, you will see that basketball, boys basketball, that does not overlap. So you'll see that the SISA basketball group are gonna be celebrated now, the AAC basketball group later, if that's making sense. That's a random example. If both groups overlap, like volleyball, we're calling the program the varsity program. Swimming is another example, and I can go on. Okay. So just a quick instructions for the coaches. Once we come up, you are giving out the certificates. One of the coaches will be given the speech as the certificates are being given, and then the special awards are gonna be given after. We will start today's activity with AAC Cross Country, Ms. Ramberg and Mr. Madden.
Well, we need some kids up here too, so if you're cross country, let's go. You guys are way more fit than this. Let's go.
You guys could be.
All right. While they're getting themselves sorted, I'll start with my 2 minutes. I guess scooch a little more so they can see you here. As you can see, there is a lot of kids up here. So initially when we saw the season signups and saw that there were almost 40 kids signed up for cross country, I was completely shocked because honestly, no one likes running that much. And to put this in perspective, when I worked at a high school of 2,000 kids in the US, the cross-country team was 20 kids. So our cross-country team is about double the size of a 2,000 kid high school. So it's really impressive to see these kids come out. The other thing that was impressive is that initially there was 40 kids and 1 coach. And so I need to thank Coach Madden for agreeing to come aboard and be part of the cross-country team. It's been good. And additionally, if any of the cross-country dads are in here, I want to thank you because trying to run outside with 40 kids takes a lot of adult supervision. So we had about 6 dads who were regularly running a 5K loop with the kids. And every once in a while, my husband let me bring him along too. So thank you for all of that extra community support. We couldn't do without you guys. Our cross-country season culminated in a meet up at King's Academy. The younger age group had to run 3.7 kilometers, and the older age group had to run 6.7 kilometers, and they did quite well. I honestly can't remember all of our places because that was like in October, but we got like first, second, third in the girls 13 to 14 age group. We won, or Noor won the boys 18. Christian, you placed. Did you? Jonathan placed. I think Luca placed. Halima, Morgan, you know, usual characters. But I honestly can't remember because it was a long time ago. So let's just get right into the awards that I have written down here. So I want to start with most improved. Running is one of those things that it takes not just a lot of fitness, but it's a mind game. And for people who are just starting out learning how to run distance, it's challenging. And this year we had a young man come out for cross country, and he'd never done it before. And I'm pretty sure he came out simply because all of his buddies forced him to. He started out the first practice with a lot of sighing, and the second practice with a little less sighing. And by the end of the season, he was really, really positive, and actually I think said thank you. So this award for most improved goes to Johannes. That's you. Mabruk. Also for most improved girl, this athlete, she came out for cross country last year, and truth be told, partway through the season, she's like, meh, it's not my thing. So I was thrilled to see her come back out again this year. And this year, she didn't just commit, but she committed. She made a ton of progress, and to think about where she started last year and where she ended this year, it was one of the most significant transitions I've seen in a young runner. And so this goes to Tara Rogstad. Oh, she's not here. All right. Most valuable player. Given that we have one event and one race, it's a little subjective to do most valuable, but at the same time, most valuable comes not just from the race, it comes from every single practice, every single day, and it comes from the attitude and the team spirit. And this runner is completely committed, she is encouraging to others, and she happens to run real well, and that is Morgan Group. That's you. And last is our most valuable boy. This is really a challenging one because many of these boys have been running with the cross-country team for the past few years. But this is one who every single season starts out saying, Coach, what do I need to do this time? And every single practice, he is pushing himself, and he's really helping to push his teammates. But at the same time, he is always welcoming and smiling with the rest of his team. He's never competitive with his teammates. He's only supportive with them. And that is what makes Nuruddin not only fast, but valuable. Thank you.
Thank you, coaches. Thank you, cross country. I'd like to invite the varsity girls volleyball led by Coach Bailey and Coach Ruba. While they're going up, we will start with our first raffle prize. It is a multi-plug charging cord. Do we have the raffles? 222. All right, Reese. Okay, you're good. Yeah, okay. All right.
All right. I have about 1,000 jumbled thoughts from our season that seems so long ago. But this is the varsity girls volleyball season, or team. And within that, we were able to do a CISA team and had enough people come out where we could also do kind of what we were calling a JV team, but we were able to keep everybody that wanted to play, and for those that didn't make the CISA team, they still had the opportunity to develop their skills and get better so that in the next years, hopefully they're able to be part of the CISA team. So that was really nice. Everybody on the team improved so much. I think volleyball is such a skill-based sport that even small tweaks to your form make a huge difference in your overall play. And so it was nice to see every single one of these ladies show up, let me tweak practice times to stay longer, but give their best effort for 10 plus weeks. And it really showed when we were at the CISA tournament we hosted here. And I think one of the best highlights for me as a coach this season was when we played in the championship game for CISA, which we worked really hard to get to, and it was a huge collective effort. We ended up getting second, but we fought so hard and believed that we could till the very last moment when they had to beat us. And I think when you're in a championship match, it is really hard to show up and give your very best effort even when things aren't going your way, and to leave with the outcome that you didn't want and keep your head high and feel really proud. And I was honored to watch the way that we handled ourselves and were able to step off the court and just know that we did our very best at the moment. We needed to do our very best. So I'm very proud of this group. It was so fun to be a part of, and just their energy and enthusiasm for sport and activity and volleyball was inspiring, and it made the season a blast. So I have 2 awards to give out, and these awards are coming from participants of the CISA team. So I have a most valuable and a most inspirational player award. And so I'm going to start with the most inspirational. Volleyball is a huge game of momentum and energy. You can't just run fast to make up for the thing that maybe you messed up on the other side of the field or the court. And so being able to manage your own emotions and influence those around you to believe they can no matter what's happening is a huge role for players of this game to have. And occasionally somebody will step up and take that on for the entire team. And so the most inspirational player was sort of the emotional lifeline of the volleyball team this year. And that award goes to May. And then the most valuable player to me is the player who makes a difference skill-wise no matter what's going on. They know how to get things done, and they can make those around them step up their own game, believe in themselves, and really get after it with their technique and their skill. And so this award for most valuable player goes to Haya, who is not here. So can we just give her a round of applause? Thank you.
Thank you, coaches. Thank you, team. So, boys volleyball, please come up to be represented. Coach Berg. Next raffle prize is for a power bank and a stylus pen. $178. Who's got 178? No 178? $272. Is that you, Bedros? It's okay. I'll help you. Zach, what number are you in? Awesome. It's a cool pen.
You guys, in volleyball, you need 6 players to even be on the court. So if you're good at math. Anyway, this year was it was a great year. The season was a long time ago, but the first season of SAIS is always fun. A lot of students come out with a lot of enthusiasm, and these gentlemen were no different in their enthusiasm. In fact, they had a lot of it. When we travel, whether to Kings, or this year we actually traveled all the way to Amman. I'm always really proud of our athletes. Actually, all of the parents in the room, you guys raise great kids, because when we go to a new place, they immediately meet friends. They are the darlings of the tournament. They're giving high fives, hugs, chanting. It's nonstop, but they got the most S-pins of any other team in SAISA, and they're just great kids to be around. The volleyball was good too. We played well. Didn't get what we wanted at the end of the tournament, but you guys were great. So on to the MVP and MIP. I will start with the most improved player. Now, I hope I don't embarrass this person, but last season, when I would put this player in, they would look at me and literally say, "Take me out, take me out." This player went from that player to someone who became the soul of our team. Whether or not they were on the bench at the beginning of the season cheering everybody on, to the point where at the end of the season they were making huge plays. They were making aces. They were getting blocks. They were hitting spikes. A phenomenal part of our team. And that player goes to Faisal Kurdi. Congratulations, Dr. Oh, bring it in. And the MVP this year goes to a player who brought a tremendous amount of enthusiasm to every game, from the very beginning of the season to the very end of the season. In every single practice, he kept his team going, he encouraged, he was a great player all around, and really was the spirit of our team all season, and that goes to Nick. Congratulations, Nick. Bring it in. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. SAISA Swimming, and Coach McKinney, Coach Madden, and Coach Callison. Multi-plug charging cord raffle goes to 238. Is that you? Okay. We have a winner. Here you go.
He thought I had the award. All right, thank you, Mr. Harani. I had the honor of coaching these fantastic, dedicated athletes. This is my first year here at ACS, and what a pleasure it was getting to spend 2 hours after school every day with these guys. And sometimes I'm sarcastic, but I'm totally not sarcastic right now. It really, really was something special. We offered 6 practices a week, and many of these swimmers came to practice every single day. And it was a real short season, but it was full of good times. That's what it's really all about. That's a little swimming metaphor for you. Okay, so in swimming, it is an individual sport. It's not like you're trying to wait for someone to pass you a ball or something, but as an athlete, what I learned through swimming, and I hope these guys are learning too, teamwork, goal setting, hard work, especially during practices that can be sometimes boring, but I try to make them pretty fun, and also time management, because you're juggling your social life with homework and your training, and it can be a bit rough. We traveled to Kathmandu, Nepal for the Saisa Swimming Championships. We had a wonderful tour of Kathmandu. Kathmandu sits in a valley and there's a hill where these monkeys are running around all over the place, and it was a really, really fun experience for everybody. As for the swim meet, we got second place overall. Thank you. And some of the highlights for me were the relays. The relays were so exciting. You finished the day, they're long days, and the relays were it was just a great ending to each of the 3 days of the swim meet. We did have 4 CISA records broken. We had the boys, the high school boys, broke the record in the 200 medley relay. So step forward if you're on that medley relay team, please. Good job, guys. Missing Valentine, all right. And then for the girls, they had 3 relays. So we had 5 different girls on the 3 different relays. That's kind of a breaststroke thing. But all 3 of the relays absolutely destroyed the former CISA records. So could you 5 girls please step forward? Yeah, yes, you. Very good, thank you very much. And then we had a few individual records also. So if you set an individual record in your age group, please step forward. I know there's Razan and Michaeli, Mona. Wonderful job, I'm so proud of these guys. Okay, so on to the awards. So I decided we use 2 different algorithms. So when you go to a swim meet, you'll score points for the team, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for 1st through 6th place. But there's also different FINA points, and both of those algorithms netted the same result. So we decided to do co-MVPs rather than do a most improved and a most valuable. So for the high school girls, 2 girls with the same initials. Congratulations, Michaeli Kellison and Mona Kalani. This is you. Oh, they're up here. All right, well, here we go. Thanks. Hey, good job. Yeah, you like that? Good job. And boys, high school boys, MVP, the 2 twins, Iskander Sawala and Maurice Sawala. And then our middle school awards, so middle school girls, 2 outstanding young athletes, Sowu Park and Razan Kanan. Come on down. And finally, last but not least, the middle school boys, Jeremiah Kellison and Aiden Henley. Come on down. I'm super proud of these athletes, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next year. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you, coaches. Thank you, swimmers. All right, raffle for a power bank and a stylus pen goes to 77. 77, wallah. No 77s. Is that you? It's a pretty cool pen. All right, I would like to invite the drama production, Grim Tales, led by Mr. Anderson.
I'm really hoping you all could indulge me right now. I don't mean to take, I won't go over my 5 minutes. Could everybody who is in Grim Tales come up, please? Can everybody who is in Grim Tales, I know I saw a few elementary kids who were in Grim Tales. If they could come on up, that would be really terrific. If you're a teacher and you participated, I'd really like to see you on stage right now. I really would. Please come up. Thank you. Just indulge me. Anybody who took any amount of their time and participated in this, it would be really great if you could come on up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's truly strange right now to be talking about Grimtails when we just finished Rock of Ages on Saturday. But I'm going to go ahead and attempt to do it. I'm going to go ahead and try to take you back to a wilder time. The year was 2019. I want you to think September and October, right around the time where we were thinking about blood and guts and Halloween and all those types of things, and the Grimtails kind of emerged from that. And I tell you, in 2019, if you had enough puppets and masks and fake blood, you could put on a pretty cool show. So this doesn't tell the whole story of the Grimtails, which is why I wanted everyone to please come up who was in the audience. There were 10 elementary school students who put on 3 shows, and 21 middle school students who put on 2 shows, and 11 high school students who worked on 2 shows and did backstage work, all the backstage work, and then I believe 15 total staff members worked on one of the shows and also did all of the music and did all the production work and so on. And that doesn't tell the whole story. All told, when we count the parents who came to build the sets and to help with costumes and to help with props and to help with production, advertising, whatever we want to call it, our total count neared 100 total people going to work on this show. It was truly a community endeavor and so worth the time, so tiring at the end, but really an awesome accomplishment for everybody up here on stage. And so I applaud you. Thank you all very much for all that work. Thanks. Another difficult task then after finishing Rock of Ages just a few days ago is to then think back to awards that I would be giving for this show. But it came pretty quickly. I have 2 awards. The first award that I want to give is the Most Improved Artist. And this student I first met in a 6th grade drama class last year at the very beginning of the year. And this is the student who comes into drama class as quiet as a mouse and not someone that you see really taking drama to the extents that drama can be taken. And I was completely and totally wrong. She's an absolute wonder to behold on stage. Her work in Grimtails show that. I'm not going to talk about her work in Rock of Ages, but she's a marvelous student. I'd like to give this award to Charlotte Allers. Great job. And the second award I'd like to give today, everybody, is what I call the Indispensable Artist, rather than MVP. I guess it's kind of the same thing. But all I really have to say about this student, this performer, this production crew member, and so on, is that when she's around, you feel like there's another adult in the room. In fact, most of the time, she's more mature than the adults in the room. She makes productions easier just because of her dedication, her love of the craft, her love of the art, and it's been a pleasure working with her on Grimtails and beyond. So I'd like to go ahead and give the Indispensable Artist Award to Alexandra Erickson. Thank you, Grimtails cast. Great job.
Power bank that looks like a cell phone goes to $301. I would like to invite the Model United Nations group up with Miss Wasan.
Hi, everyone. Before I start, I just wanted to mention that Miss Peters Frampton, who is the co-coach for MUN, really wanted to be here, but she couldn't join us. She wanted to let you guys know that she's very proud of every single one of you. Okay, so many people don't consider MUN to be a sport, but we believe that it's a sport of the mind. It's a cognitive challenge, and this is why this venue is the most appropriate venue for us to join. Because, why do you guys think it's the appropriate venue for us to join? Well, because we want to show you how successful we were in our season. It is also the reason why we chose to keep the titles of Most Valuable and Most Improved Players. Our season was short but robust, and it culminated in our participation in Chemun, which is the Chennai Model United Nations. It was a special ending to our season because it allowed us the chance to demonstrate the skills that we've practiced so hard over the season. The demonstration of skills was evident in the following: 148 points of information, 20 amendments, 6 vetoes, 80 speeches, and 2 honorable mentions. That's something to be proud of. This experience was not only beneficial to the students, but also to us as coaches. The relationships that we have formed with these students have gone way beyond the season. Our team of 11 are all winners, but for this occasion, we'd like to recognize 2 of our stars. Our most valuable player is a student who attended every single meeting and actually ran sessions for the team. This student was able to help team members understand their roles and responsibilities in each committee and made personal sacrifices to ensure that every team member had the opportunity to present their very best work. More than that, he represented our school as one of the few external chairs at the conference. Our MVP is Ali Asfour. For our most improved player, we see in this student what it really means to be the most improved player. He challenged himself by setting personal goals and continuously strived towards reaching them, even though it took him out of his comfort zone. He bravely stood in front of a room full of new faces and made a total of 16 speeches. He also collaborated with other students he had never worked with before to ensure that not only his voice, but the voice of others are heard and considered. Our most improved player is Suhail Halabi. Congratulations, we're so proud of you. Thank you so much. Good job, guys.
Modern t-shirt. It's a very cool t-shirt that goes to, it has all the cities of Jordan written in Arabic. For number 71. 7-1. Anyone? Is that you? 7-1, awesome. And next up are Forensics and Debate, introduced by Makeli.
Forensics is the act, art, or process of making effective speeches before an audience. Our forensics and debate team did that and so much more, practicing and competing in 2 events for a total of 8 times over a 2.5-day competition. Whether in debate or oral interpretation, oratory, duet acting, extemporaneous speaking, or impromptu, every member of our team was tirelessly committed to doing their best work. Something you may not know about forensics is that in addition to competing against kids from other schools, we also competed against each other, challenging each other while also cheering on our teammates. Out of the 8 events, we got 7 first places, 4 seconds, and 6 thirds. I'd like to introduce our coaches who will give the Ripple Effect Award. These awards are given to team members whose actions and attitude have a positive effect on the team. Please give a big round of applause for our debate coach, Mr. Bowman, our extempt, impromptu, and oratory coach, Ms. Crockett, and our acting and oral inter coach, Ms. J.
The recipient of this Ripple Effect Award for acting and oral interpretance is someone who helped other students by staying after her practices to give feedback and encouragement to others, both in her events and in the acting events. She was also a bridge builder throughout the tournament, reaching out to the other team and especially taking the younger participants under her wing. So I'm really pleased to give this award to Saloni Prakash.
Hi. The award for the Ripple for the speaking events, this person always had a positivity about him. It was unflagging all the time. And they were always willing to step in wherever was needed and provide the emotional glue for the group, and also just some help when we needed it. So this award goes to Levin Newman.
Even though in debate, each pair competes on their own, the preparation over the course of the season is an effort that requires the involvement of everyone on the team. And the whole team benefits from each individual's efforts. So the person I'd like to recognize is somebody who, despite managing other commitments simultaneous with the debate season, consistently showed up prepared with constantly revised materials, shared willingly with others, who constantly gave thoughtful feedback, and who competed ferociously in our practice rounds, sharpening the skills of others as well as her own. And that's Sophie Shabaro. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Forensics and Debate, and thank you, coaches. Another power bank. 127. 127. All right. The AAC Under 18 Boys Soccer, led by Mr. Alzamora.
All right, before we begin, I want to thank not only these guys, but I want to thank all the other boys that came out and tried out for the team that were not able to make the AAC team this year. Excuse me. So this year, the boys worked really hard, having new coaches and new players. They challenged themselves to learn a new system, to get along, and to believe in themselves. They showed a lot of improvement this year, which culminated in a very hard-fought semifinal at the AAC tournament, where we lost on penalties. Very unfortunate, but I'm very proud of these boys, and I wish them the best for in future. Let me move on. Thank you. On to the awards. Let me start off with the MIP, the Most Improved Player. This young man showed a tremendous amount of growth throughout the season and really came through for us at the tournament. Coming off the bench is never easy in any sport, but this young man did it without complaining, with confidence, and with much to offer when we needed him the most. The Most Improved Player Award goes to Triple H. All right. The MVP award goes to a true leader. This young man always showed his best during practice and at games. He always led by example. He is tough and confident. And I'm proud of the fact that this boy is not afraid to stand up for what he believes in. He's a skillful player who played every minute of every game, even while nursing an injury. He truly showed us what a most valuable player means to a team. So congratulations to Rakan Rehani, who is not here. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, soccer team. Next raffle prize is a portable wireless speaker. That's every coach's nemesis on buses. Sorry, Julie. Just keep this with me. On my basketball team, these things are banned. 253. All right, Mr. Kilani. Varsity girls soccer. Mr. Willett and Mr. LeBlanc.
You want to? No. Do we actually have all 16? All right. I will keep this to 2.5 minutes, I believe. So, 2.5 is good. What does a virtuous team look like? Right, I want to try to come up with something that was a little bit different from what's been done in the past. And so courage is good, right? Courage, I think, is being an 8th grader, one of our 3 8th graders who came out this year and played in a high school tournament. I think courage is also being one of our 5 girls who have never played competitive soccer before, who still came out. And I think courage is also all of the rest of the team who took those people in, who trained them, who encouraged them, who built them into players who could then walk away from a tournament with a medal. And yeah. Perseverance is another good one, right? And perseverance is when your coach tells you that this week's theme is pain, it's when the whole team still shows up the next week. They did. It is being able to play through practices in the snow and in the rain and never complain. And then it's going into that 11:30 game on the second day of the tournament in the midday heat, playing as hard as you can, and then coming back 50 minutes later to win the second game at 1:30. Honor. Honor is when you fight with such fire, such passion, and such integrity that you demand the respect of your opponents. It's playing in such a way that, that when it came time to recognize each other with S-pins, that our team received recognition from the 1st, 2nd, and 4th place teams. You know you fought well when the people you beat can't help but respect how well you beat them. Finally, nobility. I have 3 captains who, as far as I'm concerned, are fully responsible for any and all success that this team has had. Their nobility, virtue, honesty, goodness, honor, self-sacrifice, bravery, provided the blueprint for what this team became. Bree, who modeled what it meant to have a sense of fire and duty for one's role, and who took care of all of us. Charlotte, whose overflowing joy is so infectious that one might almost forget that she played about 6.5 hours of center midfield in Oman, which is hot. Sophie, whose serenity and kindness belies what an inspiring and
utterly terrifying force of nature she can be on the pitch. These traits are not unique to my captains. They are traits that everyone on this team exemplifies. But that's the point of nobility, right? True nobility is that which brings out the nobility in others. And so I have nothing but respect and gratitude for my captains. Thank you. In recognition, we do have a little bit of recognition for our goalie, Alyssa. In this team, I don't know how I can separate one from the rest, except in this case. Right, she kept us in every game. She scored in her last game versus Dhaka. In her honor, I've actually renamed our MVP award to, what did I call it again? It's written down. The Impossible Wall. And if that doesn't make sense to you, go back and watch some of the footage, and it is immediately apparent. She is utterly improbable and amazing. So, what does a virtuous team look like? Her hands are better when she's in goal. So what does a virtuous team look like? I would say that it looks like these girls up here who came, played some of the best soccer that I have seen, and who I am deeply grateful for having the privilege of being able to coach. Thank you.
Thank you, coaches. Thank you, girls. Next up is another t-shirt. $49. $49? No? Okay, we'll draw another one. 302. No 302? Oh, sorry. Okay, 302. Thank you. All right, Mr. Boniface will announce art and music.
In art and music, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So what we did is we put together a short little video that we want to show you. So music and art people, stay seated, and we're going to show, I think it's 2 more slides, Rhea. Okay. I hope it works. So that's all our time. And no, can we have the music and art kids up here to the stage, please? I'm pleased to announce that we came in first place at this CISA tournament. Actually, it wasn't a competition. It was strange for me to go to this. I was telling the kids today that as a coach, I've been to countless tournaments where it's always a competition, and this one is not. It's a collaboration, and it changes the whole tenor of the experience. And from the moment we got there, our students made friends, and they worked together with students from other schools, and they created fabulous things. That's why I thought the pictures were so telling in this. So we all had just a great time getting to know them. I was a bit of a fill-in, and I'm just going to give our Resident Artist Award tonight. This award goes to somebody, if you've been in the hallways, if you walked in the hallways and you've seen some art that stops you in the track, it's probably hers. And she impressed people at the CISA festival as well with her artwork. And the award goes to Sasha Thompson.
The band students represented ACS fabulously. We had a tight 4-week schedule to get all of our music learned, and they came in raring to go and worked their tails off, and they were super enthusiastic, and it was really quite adorable. They were very excited. I think they played laser tag at one point. It was very charming. And I have 2 awards for our musicians. The first is the Distinguished Musician Award. Say that 3 times fast. This award goes to a musician who is just endlessly enthusiastic and combines that with determination and focus that is unmatched, and that is Miss Ruby. I don't know how to do this. Here, and then we shake hands. Yay! And our second award for band is the most dedicated musician. This is a musician who really took her music and just dug in, spent the time, made sure she knew exactly what was happening, and really pushed herself to grow as an artist and as a musician, and that is Miss Cameron. Thank you. Good work.
And as a choir person, I have 2 awards. One for students who are the most inspirational musician from my point of view, and not only mine, from all of us who've been on this trip, and even from all choir, from all students from around 7 or 6 countries, 6 cities, and that student is our Enzo. And the second awards go to for the most motivational student who've been so responsible and been very, very well prepared for the festival, because this is a middle school student, and music we perform, it was SATB choir, which is mixed choir, soprano, alto, tenor, bass. So music was really advanced. And that student is Dunia, but she's not here today. I didn't see her. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. So next raffle prize is a Trinity Hand Cream Trio. $213. $213. All right. We will draw another prize. Sorry, another number, which is 155. All right, Lisa. Next one is 3D pen, 3D doodler. $256. That's not you, Sammy. No, come on, Sammy. It's Sammy's. Yeah, awesome. Saisa Track and Field, led by coaches Bramberg, Coach Hamamre, Coach Bowman, and Coach Ream.
All right, I'll just start talking while they're making their way up here. Our track athlete profile looks for athletes who are committed, who have good sportsmanship, who are inclusive, who have a positive attitude, and who are willing to work hard. At the bottom of our list of most important attributes of the athlete is their actual athleticism, which I know sounds really opposite of what most coaching philosophy is, but we have found that with this team, it's worked pretty well. They have taken the expectations and put it to a whole new level. In every practice, they were a community. In every practice, they worked extremely hard. They pushed themselves beyond what they thought they could do. They were supportive of each other the whole time through. In every practice, there were high schoolers and middle schoolers running together to try to encourage each other to do their best. And that attitude continued all the way to the SISA meet, where they shared 4 different pairs of spikes. They videoed each other and gave each other feedback. They supported each other through the entire meet. They all had personal bests. We had quite a few kids at the top of the podium this year, but we really found that this philosophy worked because our boys, 15 to 19 age group, won their division. So we're pretty happy with that. So hopefully everyone who's returning next year comes back for track, because you guys have already made a lot of progress and you still have a ways to go, but you've worked hard to get where you are. For our most improved players, the coaching staff decided to take a look at a couple of students where they were last year and how much they've improved up until this year. So it's kind of over the course of a year most improved. Our female most improved player, last year at SISA, she was asked to compete a whole age group higher, and I think was a little bit discouraged by the end of SISA. This year, she put her mind to work, she put her body to work, and she ended up not only making PRs and everything, but also took 5th in discus, and this goes to Nadine Tabat. Congratulations. Our most improved boy player, also at the end of the last track season, he didn't necessarily perform where he wanted to. And he walked up to Coach Bowman and I at the meet, and he said, and I'm paraphrasing, I did kind of meh, and I don't really want to do meh again next year. And so he spent all season, all year in the gym, working extra hard. He fully committed to every single workout, even the distance running ones, and really pushed it to the extra limit. And this year, this athlete found himself often at the top of the podium, and that would be Nick Flamont. Congratulations. Our most valuable players, both of them are extremely valuable, not just because of their competitiveness and their ability to score points. They're extremely valuable because of what they bring to the team. Both of these players are extremely positive and supportive and are strong leaders within the track team community. This most valuable girl, she happened to not only win one of her top events, but she also beat her own record, and that would be Morgan Group. Congratulations. And for our boys' most valuable player, this athlete really went the extra mile this year in his captaining duties, because he went beyond just being a supportive member of the team, and he really dug in deep and did whatever he could to help every single member of the team feel supported and feel important, and that is Noor. Congratulations. Thank you.
Just hold on a second. Nuruddin wanted the mic for a few minutes.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so coaches have recognized us for our extraordinary performance, but I think it's time that we recognize them today. So, of course, we recognize and give credit to all coaches equally, but today I think two coaches we need to recognize so much because they deserve it very much. Over the past few years, actually this is my 5th year in SAISA, and 5th year in track. So over the past years, specifically Coach Ramberg has been not only my coach, but really my friend. And Coach Reem, of course, joined as well, and we've developed a very good relationship as well. So I would really like to thank them for all their efforts and for coaching us over the past few years, and we can't thank them enough. So we signed this booklet for them, and it's a gift for them. All right. Give us one more second. We need one more second. We also have another gift for each one of the coaches right here. Jacob, would you like to help me distribute those? I would indeed. All right, go ahead.
All right. First is Coach Ramberg.
Coach Ramberg, please come up. Second, Coach Bowman. Third, Coach Reem. Oh yeah. And finally, Coach Hamamre. Aywa! Thank you.
Thank you, that was amazing. Thank you, guys. I'd like to invite the SAISA basketball team, and while doing this, I'm drawing for a prize. Next one is super cool. It's a Bluetooth printer for your phone. 247. Note 247. Nope. All right. The basketball team, please come up. 191. 247. Can we share it? No, I'm just kidding. All right. All right, I'll give it to Coach Harwood and Coach Stroh.
All right. This is our SAISA and varsity boys basketball team, a little mix of both. And I just want to say this year has been the most fun coaching that I think I've ever had. This group of kids, it's an amazing group of kids. Their sportsmanship, their hard work. They show up for each other. They worked hard. Improvement across the entire year was amazing. I said it earlier today, and I'll say it again. On the back of their sweatshirts we got this year, they put family. And I think that, as you can see here, and I think that it really represents what this group was. They were there for each other. They challenged each other. They griped and moaned a little bit at me, and then when it counted, they came together and they took care of business. We finished in 3rd place in SAISA, which was, I was proud of that, and I think they were proud of it. It might have been more than we expected after getting kind of thumped in the local league a few times. We recovered and we did well, and we improved throughout the year. We're slowly creeping up on Kings, and we're going to get them next year, I have no doubt. So we have 2 awards that Coach Stroh and I came up with this year, and we didn't do an MVP or a most improved. We felt like these guys, everybody's valuable. We stress that throughout the year, that even if you weren't playing in the games, you were working hard in practice and pushing your teammates and making sure that everybody was up to speed and improving. So we have a Hustle and a Heart Award. And our Hustle Award goes to a kid that they gave 100% every game, every practice, showed up for everything, made sure that he was encouraging guys, pushing people, and sometimes going so fast that I was sure he was going to like go through a wall or something out of the side of the gym. And this one goes to Hassan Shaban. And our Heart Award, they're actually kind of similar, I guess, but the Heart Award is a kid that, again, 110% every time. He kind of led from the back, from not necessarily always up in the front, making noise and everything, but was kind of a heartbeat of the team, making sure that things were getting done and guys knew what they needed to do and cheering them on. And I have my suspicions that a couple of times he asked to come out just so that some other people could play. And this one goes to Mael. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. One more raffle prize before we conclude our event, but a reminder that there are fittings and sizings for the Letterman jacket just upstairs. The last two awards are both 1 month free membership at DNA Fitness Club. $260. All right, sir up there. And then the next one is 298. Sir, here you go. 298. All right, another draw. 192. Up there, 192. You'll be the youngest gym member. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes our event for the night. Have a great evening.
Care